Here's Scott. So, good body position, nice and smooth, comfortable breathing. Extension is pretty good. Hips a little low, so hips and legs a little low in the water. I think with just continued swim training, you just get stronger and your hips will come up. That just affects your streamline slightly. Your extension is pretty good. It could be a little better. Most people have room for improvement there, so you do that with continued swimming and some flexibility training. So flexibility training would be, you know, making sure you stretch, doing some shoulder swings, lat stretch, and try and do that on a daily basis. Really, you want to have as much flexibility in your upper body as possible in order to get a substantial reach every time you reach forward. Part two of that is having an effective catch after you get that reach. So at the end of this, I did a bunch of freeze frames of your underwater technique, and you're doing a good job here of reaching forward, not directly in front of your head, but just off to the side, and then getting a good line pulling through. Some of your strokes here are going right in front of your head, but a lot of them were not. So that would be a very minor issue, where your hand reaches towards. You just don't want to cross in front of your head, is my point. So underwater, you are getting a high elbow catch. It's sort of initiating a little later in the stroke than I would like, but you are certainly getting a catch there. You could see that there. And again, this may be due to flexibility. I know you're relatively new to swimming, so you're doing a real good job here of getting a pretty effective pull. Perhaps that's because you watched some of the Powerstroke DVD prior to me filming you here. So things that you would want to work on: a lot of doggy paddle. I cut that part of the video out. Doggy paddle is a real tough drill, but it's really good for working on that catch, provided you are thinking about the catch every time you're doing doggy paddle. A lot of one-arm drill. Catch-up drill is a pretty good one, but frankly, one-arm drill is a better drill when you're really trying to work on the catch. Catch-up drill is working extension and catch. There's a product called the Tech Paddle. I don't recall if we talked about that. And here this is after we discussed catch and everything, and here you can see that you're doing a pretty good job of the catch. And the way you can tell that when you're watching from out of the water is that your hand and forearm sort of disappear from view as you pull through. That means they're angling down or going vertical relative to the bottom of the pool. That's another name that some folks refer to in swimming called early vertical forearm. That's the idea that you want to get your hand and forearm into a vertical position as early as possible. Again, flexibility is a part of that. But you're doing a good job here as well with your right arm. So I think you're in a situation where, provided you concentrate on it, you're able to do it. It does fatigue your muscles. When you do this pull, you wind up with more resistance from the water, so you'll get tired more quickly. That's the whole point of training, though.
Good.
And this looks good as well. So this is just regular swimming, more or less, and thinking about the high elbow catch. Nice finish on the stroke here. Nice reach. Good catch. I don't recall what I asked you to focus on here, but this looks really good. You can see the difference. You know, watch this tape, and then we'll go back and watch the initial one. So you can see you're reaching more, and it looks to me like you're covering more water with each stroke, or more distance per stroke, and that's because of the reach, but also because of a more effective catch. So this is just from you know, a few minutes of really trying to concentrate on it. The trick is holding that sort of stroke throughout the race. Now with the wetsuit, you're really going to be benefited from a nice long stroke like this, because the wetsuit will glide through the water unless there's a wind chop. If there's wind chop, then you're going to want to shorten your stroke up a little bit, so you're not going to want to reach quite as forward. The reason is the wind chop will actually stop your momentum, and so if you have that glide works in flat water, but in choppy water, that glide will be stopped by the wind or by the chop in the water. So you need to shorten the stroke and initiate your pulling motion as soon as you basically enter the water. It may make you a little more tired, but that's the way you're supposed to swim, or you should swim in choppy water. Hopefully we have a nice flat day, calm day, and then you can swim, you know, with this sort of smooth, strong, relaxed stroke. So left arm, good rotation, pretty good reach, and then you can see the catch going right there. So pretty good. Now a little bit of an elbow slipping backwards, and a little bit of maybe a not quite an early vertical forearm, but that was a pretty good catch. Here with the right arm, so good extension, rotation. Forearm's angled up a little bit there, so you want that to be more straight, and then it's not until right about here that you're starting to get into the catch position. So it's a good catch once you get it. It's just being initiated a bit late in the stroke. Again, that might be due to flexibility and just years of swim experience. And I wanted to show you this just so you could see the line that you're pulling through. So that right arm is pretty wide when you're not breathing. That's fine. That's good. I'm actually a fan of that. Hand turns a little bit. So did you notice, if you back up 2 slides there, the hand turns slightly. So when the hand turns like that, your hand will slip through the water a bit. That's just something to think about. Maybe work on forearm strength. And then you do a good job here of keeping this excuse me, that was your left arm. This is your right arm. Keeping that right arm wider out from your body when you're breathing. So that's really good. That's hard to do. Good job.